March, Trump administration canceled in-person classes at the National Fire Academy. That must have been a woke academy. It trains the United States firefighters. The academy is a big part of Emmitsburg's identity. Where's Emmitsburg?
Maryland.
Emmitsburg, Maryland.
Just over the line from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
So real Maryland. It's not like we're not training black firefighters in inner city Baltimore.
That's right.
Like we're in Emmitsburg. Frank Davis. What does Frank do there? Talk to us about Frank Davis.
Frank is the mayor
of Emmitsburg,
of this town of 300, as well as the captain of the emergency medical services at the local firehouse, the Vigilant Hose Company.
Got it. He says that the administration NPR reached out to him, is still reviewing the academy's operations, and he's hopeful it will restore classes. But Frank, who had been a big advocate for Doge and a big advocate for Trump, said now, if the administration doesn't re-up the Fire Academy's funding, he's going to see Trump somewhat differently. It will change my outlook to say that they're not being fair. Frank doesn't think they're being fair. JVL, do you have any thoughts about this story?
This story in NPR is filled with people in Emmitsburg who voted for Trump and love him and wanted him to cut, and Frank says, I'm probably going to get shot for this, but he's doing what he said he was going to do.
No, I thought he said Frank was from the Pennsylvania-Maryland border.
I made him Boomhauer. I don't know.
It sounded more like he was from like Greensboro, Alabama.
It will change my outlook to say that they're not being fair, said Davis. They're just going to cut and not caring what they cut. Here's what these fucking people, and my level of contempt for the Frank Davises of the world is boundless, because his view of whether or not the Trump approach to cutting government is good or not is determined entirely by what happens to his pet project. Fuck you, Frank. Fuck you. You can't look around and tell that, like, if your fire school doesn't get to do in-person classes, then you will say that it's bad. You can't look at the National Institutes of Health and see the destruction of vaccine research and say that, oh, yeah, that's bad. It has to happen to you, you provincial fucking burger. You mouth-breathing serf. My God. You know what? And this is why this country is fucked. Because idiots like this, who of course is that, you've got to see this guy. The picture of this guy in his polo shirt, in his coiffed silver hair. And of course, he's the mayor of a town of 3,000 people in real America. And he will determine whether or not it is good that Trump is doing things like making it so that firefighters can't be taught how to fight emergencies. Because this place is, as they say, it's like the Army War College for firefighters. And, another Trump voter in it who looks at this and says, this is another guy, Dennis O'Neill, another Trump voter, who says that the National Fire Academy takes men and women out of their comfort zone and exposes them to real serious tragedies and forces them to work through what kind of decisions they're going to make. We are on a very long, slow path to self-destruction, he says. Every day that this training is unavailable to the locals is one day closer to a disaster they can't handle or won't know how to handle. But if Trump decides that they get an exception, then everything will be fine.
Well,
because the world doesn't exist outside of their field of vision. And here's what bothers me the most.
Tell me, girl.
So
cook.
The populist view is that it is the elites who are cloistered and who can't see beyond their own borders. And it's the old New Yorker cover, right? Where it's like, the Hudson River and then New Jersey and then like a little bit of blank space, then California, right? It's like, oh, these people can't see outside their bubbles. No, who's the biggest fucking bubbles in the world? The people of Emmitsburg. These are the people who are so provincial and so cloistered that they have no idea what is happening outside of their field of vision. And yet they are the ones who determine the future course of the American empire. Great. Good fucking job, guys. I want to read one more. John Beck, who serves as fire chief of the Waynesboro Volunteer Fire Department nearby in Pennsylvania, has applied for a weekend leadership and development course at the academy in July. It would be his first one, but he doesn't expect it'll happen now. He also says that online courses don't cut it. Beck, who runs a landscaping company, works for free as fire chief. He voted for Trump and supports cutting waste and making government smaller. But Beck doesn't see how training first responders is wasteful. We're only 100 days plus in, Beck said of Trump's current term. I wish things were going differently. Beck doesn't regret his vote yet. I'm not 100% there yet, he says, but it may not take much more. Mr. Beck, look around you. Look around what is happening to America. Look at USAID. Look at the kids in Africa who are dying because they can't get medication. Look at what is happening to soybean farmers who don't have places to sell their crops. Whether or not you get there should not be dependent upon what happens in your tiny, insignificant slice of America. The world is bigger and more important than you, sir.
Well, people, now you know why we cloister JVL to the next level podcast for the real sickos. And this